Hi, welcome to North Dakota Pulse with Faye Seidler. We're going to be talking about the North Dakota legislative session, the 69th one, which is nice. We focused on all of the good and hopeful bills on Friday, so today we're going to focus on the ones that I don't particularly like, and I'll give you a short reason why. Just to get through them pretty quickly, I want you to know that all the stuff I talk about is going to be on my website. You can find it under the Pulse tab, which is on the very top of it. It'll go through all the bills I'm tracking, what I like, all the other information about getting involved. It's the one-stop shop to go. I also have a newsletter, so check that out. That'll be the important news because you don't always have time to catch me on the Pulse, so check out my website every day. So rest assured the important action items will go to your inbox so you can check them out. But let's get into the bills that I didn't like. House Bill 1070 reduces healthcare coverage for youth, going from 210% of the poverty line to 205%. I dislike anything that would reduce medical care coverage for youth, so boo. House Bill 1089, I believe, will be preventing funds to go to places that are trying to help reduce carbon emissions. This is an environmental issue, I believe, and I think the bill is hindering some of that progressive effort. I'm not 100% sure, I'm a little confused, but I think it is deregulating environmental protections, which I don't like. Boo. We have House Bill 1145, which is looking at the 10 Commandments in our schools. I don't have strong feelings on this, but we do have students who have different backgrounds, different faiths. Some of them are from secular families, and I don't think it's particularly fair to have a particular religion being dominated within a public school system. So if you personally care about the 10 Commandments, if they're important to you, that is great. I just don't think they necessarily belong in a public education sector. In the same vein, House Bill 1150 is mandating the Sabbath for everyone to have to participate in. Again, if the Sabbath is important to you, if it is holy to you, I respect that, and I hope that you are able to take the time that you need for it. However, I don't think that everyone should be forced to do that, especially if they have different religious beliefs or are secular. It's important as a society that we allow a plurality of people to exist, and that bill does not allow that. So boo. House Bill 1160 is banning cell phone use in the school systems. I know this is a problem. I know there has to be some ways to address it. It cannot be addressed by our legislative branch of government. It has to be addressed by our schools. It has to be a local issue. It is complex. It is nuanced. It is difficult. It can't just be 3-line items saying no cell phones. That is not good. That is not good governance. This has to be a local issue, so boo. We have Senate Bill 2104. This bill is a little interesting because what it does is effectively makes the superintendent sort of a watchdog for our legislative branch to assure that regardless if our bills are constitutional or not, that the superintendent will assure all of our schools are following it. I again dislike this because it takes away local control, which I think is important, very important for our North Dakota school systems. We come from very different regions and struggles that each of our schools have to deal with. I don't think this is a good direction, so I'm going to go boo. 2105. We have Senate Bill 2105. This one's interesting. I think it might just be eradicated because it says that only the North Dakota Department of Public Instruction can conduct surveys. I'm not against that. I'm not against there not being third-party surveys in our school systems necessarily, but right now the Youth Risk Behavior Survey, the survey we use all across the state, everyone uses this, is conducted by the Health and Human Services. That happened late last year, so I'd understand if our legislators don't know that and wouldn't want to stop that, but they just have the bill set for the North Dakota Department of Public Instruction. I'm okay if it being like, hey, let's get permission first or something like that. I mean, there can be some systems of control. I'm not saying there shouldn't be, but as the bill is written, it shoots ourselves in the foot from the way that we normally collect data. So it has to be amended or it is terrible and boo. And then finally, House Concurrent Resolution Bill 3003 makes it harder for voters to pass ballot measures. I will fight anything that reduces our populace's ability to vote and express their voice at every turn. This one just puts it on the ballot, so we would have to basically approve of it, so it's not that big of a deal necessarily, but I don't like any direction that would depower our voters. I went through a lot of those very quickly because I want to keep the show very short. However, I will say that next week is probably going to be intense. We'll probably see hundreds and hundreds of new bills next week, and a lot of them are going to be more the spicy ones. They're not going to be like the heavy administrative bills that were a large part of our first 200 to 300 bills this session. So I will be very busy next week. I'll try to give you the most important of the information that I find. But as always, please follow me, please share, like, subscribe, get me out there because I am a positive, fun person talking about the legislative session. Good luck finding that somewhere else. Yay, democracy! Yeah! Have a good night.